So we're going to do a reaction shot or take, and we're going to do it with Monty. That is to say, with a simple character. Of course, you don't have to use Monty. You can use any simple character you like. The simple bot isn't a bad one, but I'm going to start with Monty because I'm familiar with that character and I like animating with him. So the first thing to do is import the character. So I'm going to go to my desktop, to my own folder where I keep all my rigs, um, and let's see. And there is Monty.ma. So I'm just going to go ahead and import him. And let's go hit 6 on my keyboard. So we go to textured mode. And then if you need any introduction to Monty, you should be pretty familiar with him by now. But there is a good introduction to Monty much earlier in the course. That's at week 5 during the Walks series. And there's a technical lecture introducing Monty. So what I'm going to do is just, actually let me go to my saved animation view. That's saved layouts animation, which is the 3-way split top. So I'm going to have my perspective view there. I actually probably have my perspective view there for now as well. And my graph editor below. And I'm going to go to show none and just show polygons and curves. And again, show none, polygons and curves. Now I'm going to hit the space bar and I'm just going to adjust Monty's feet so his feet aren't pointing out quite so much. Whoops. Holding down the shift key so I only rotated in one channel there. And that looks good. And then I'm going to grab these pole vectors and I'm just going to move them in front of his knees just to get them out of the way a bit, just so that the pole vectors don't mysteriously behave oddly or get in the way. Okay, so let's see. Now what we want to do is have Monty basically react dramatically. Actually, what we should do before we do anything is I'm going to find the shelf tab where I've got my Monty. Oh, and that's for some reason it's not working. Well, I could create new shelf tabs, or I can just select him in the window. He's not a very complicated rig, so I'll select him in the window. If you want to create shelf tabs, go ahead. Again, earlier on in the course, there's a lecture on creating shelf tabs. I think that's at week 5. Now that once we've got Monty set up there, we want to go ahead and create a project. So I go to File, Project Window, New, and let's call this Monty underscore take. Accept, and now I'm going to set to that project. File, Set Project, Monty take. Where is? There we go. Monty take. So set to that, and then go ahead and save it. So let's go call it Monty take underscore V001. And now I'm going to go ahead and import a set. And it can be any set you like. As you know by now, there are many sites where you can get free sets, such as Turbo Squid, which is a great website. And I'm going to go ahead and import the subway because that's a nice set. And I'm going to get that from my assets folder, where I store all of the sets that I've accumulated over the years. And there it is. Import the subway. And the subway is going to come in huge. We can see there, very, very large. So the first thing we need to do is go to the outliner and select all the components of the subway and Control G to group them. So subway group is what I'm going to rename it. And having created that, I'm going to change the scale to 0.1. Hit F. Why didn't that work? And now Monty looks a slightly more reasonable size. It's still too big, so let's try 0.05. Okay. Great. Oops, what is going on there? So now I'm going to create a layer, create empty layer. Call that subway geo. Save. Add selected objects to the layer so we can toggle the layer on and off. Right click, add a favorite material, add a Lambert. So wait, where's that Lambert gone? That's strange. Let me go to the rendering editors, to the Hypershade. Where's the latest Lambert that we've created? Lambert 2. That'll be the one we just created, and I'm going to call that Subway Lambert. Sorry, Subway Material. Enter. And I'm going to make it yellow. There we go. Sort of some color like that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Monty into position. So let's go back to the channel box, turn off the geometry, and let's move Monty. If I hold down the J key, then I can snap to the grid while I'm doing it. And what I think I'm going to do is have a sort of silly POV where I'm going to put the camera underneath the stairs as if it's some kind of horror film where we're a monster coming up the stairs and Monty is going to react. Because part of the fun with a shot like this is you're animating a take, so you kind of want to imagine a scenario in which a character might be reacting to another character. So I'm going to imagine that there's somebody coming up the stairs here. And I'm actually going to animate the camera, I think, so that I might even have the camera go round the corner. That might be fun. We could add some spooky music too as well. One of the reasons I like animating with Monty is he's cheap and quick to animate with, and you can have all sorts of fun doing stupid stuff with him. I might even give him a hat or something like that, maybe a bowler hat to make him a sort of commuter who's terrified. I'm channeling American Werewolf in London here. Anyway, before I get carried away, let's get on with this. Let's go ahead and set our timeline. One thing we want to do is find our thumbnails. And here are the thumbnails for the shot. So that's the basic timing I've got for a reaction shot. And of course, you know, we can mess around with this timing. And by now you're starting to get the hang of timing, I hope. So you can feel free to alter them. But not too much. I would, you know, the thing with thumbnails is you want to give them their due. So once you've figured out the timing of something, you want to stick to that, and then adjust it later. Okay, so now we've got our set in place. So now I'm going to go ahead and create a camera. So create cameras. Whoops, create cameras camera, and let's go to panels. Look through selected. Now I'm going to zoom out. So now I'm actually creating my camera. Oops. Okay. So actually what I'm going to do is, because we do have a bit of staircase down here, so how much do we have? Maybe we don't have too much. All right, let's, okay, so let's set our shot to start off at frame 101. And then I'm going to set it to 199. So it's roughly 4 seconds. I know the thumbnails say it's only 49 seconds, but I think we're going to have 2 seconds going up the staircase and just have some fun with it. Okay, so there's our camera 1, which I'm going to rename and call shot camera. I know this is a bit repetitive. You've seen me do this many times before now. And let's set a keyframe here at frame 1. And then I'm going to zoom in at frame 25. Like we're going up the stairs a bit. Oop, I'm on stepped curves. I don't want to be on stepped curves. Settings, animation, spline. My camera wants to be on spline curves. And actually, we might as well animate Monty on spline curves as well. So let's just do everything on spline, because it's a nice fluid action to take. Okay, so now we've got our camera going. So let's go to 149. Okay, so let's start heading up the stairs there. And now, and let's go in. Come up the stairs right towards Monty for the end. And let's have it slow in at the end and slow in at the beginning. And now let's play that back and see what that looks like. Okay, that's actually not too bad. It's quite fun. Okay, so something's coming up the stairs. It's the classic horror movie POV shot. And let's see, let's just check all of these things to make sure that there's nothing weird going on. Check all of our translates. Oops. Ah. Yeah, all looks pretty good. What's going on here? Just smoothing everything out a bit. Okay. So let's try that one more time. See if I've made that better or worse. Okay, not too bad. All right. Now that we've got that, now that I've got that set up, let me go back to my camera, outliner, shot camera, minimize, and I'm now going to lock it off. Okay, so right click, lock selected. So now when I'm in my camera view, and I'll just turn on the film gate there, which gives us our standard aspect ratio, I now can't change that by mistake. So now I'm going to go ahead and save that. Save scene as. No, I'm in the wrong place. Let's set our project again. File, set project to, where was it? Monty take. There we go. Set. And save scene as Monty take. Oops. 2. Monty take 2. Okay. So in the next video, we'll start blocking out the Monty animation.